Get out! I'm hit! What? I'm in the car! I shot through the car!
Officer Jesse immediately reacted with intense fear, performing 2 rapid tactical rolls, slamming his knee hard against the pavement. Convinced he had been shot, he instinctively drew his service weapon, his hands trembling. In a split second, he fired off all his rounds.
What? Where? Right there? Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Where is he?
In the car!
But the situation quickly spiraled out of control. The supervising officer, still disoriented and unaware of the suspect's location, repeatedly asked Jesse where the shooter was. Meanwhile, chaos erupted as Mark's girlfriend screamed in desperation, urging officers not to fire.
43, give me traffic. Shots fired. I got a deputy down. No! Please, no!
She cried out that she had already forgiven Marks, but what she didn't grasp was that once the gunfire started, it was nearly impossible to stop the adrenaline-fueled momentum of the situation. Inside the patrol car, Marks, handcuffed and terrified, didn't dare move a muscle. For what felt like an eternity, he sat frozen, waiting for the chaos to subside. About 5 minutes later, backup officers arrived, rifles in hand, adding more confusion to the already chaotic scene. Amidst the turmoil and Mark's desperate cries for help, the absurdity and fear of the situation finally reached its peak. In the end, Officer Jesse faced intense public backlash and resigned, his career irreversibly damaged, but Marks was determined not to let this go. Citing excessive use of force, he filed a lawsuit against the police department, demanding $30 million in compensation for the ordeal.
Keep your hands out! Drop the gun! Fuck!
I fucking told you!
He pulled it!
I told you it wasn't a gun!
Back up away from him!
No!
Back up away from him!
Additional officers rushed to the scene and immediately began life-saving efforts nearby. The man's mother and ex-wife were overwhelmed with emotion. They cried uncontrollably, repeatedly shouting that the weapon was only a BB gun, their words carrying clear anger toward the officer. The emotional pressure quickly took its toll.
Fuck! You alright? Okay. You alright? You okay? Yeah.
The officer involved began shaking, then broke down in tears. Recognizing the situation, another officer opened a patrol car door and gently guided him inside, giving him space to regain control.
Dude, what the fuck, man?
You did what you had.
What the fuck did he do that for?
Take some deep breaths, brother.
Roughly 15 minutes later, investigators arrived and took over the scene. Because the incident involved a fatal officer, involved shooting, the officer was escorted away and placed on administrative leave, pending a formal investigation. Meanwhile, emergency responders transported the injured man to Marysville Memorial Hospital. Despite medical efforts, he was pronounced dead due to the severity of his wounds. The deceased was identified as 33-year-old Matthew Todd Hank. The weapon was later confirmed to be a BB gun. 2 months after the incident, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation concluded that Hank had demonstrated suicidal behavior. The manner of death was ruled suicide by cop. A local grand jury also determined that Officer Matiko acted in self-defense and would face no criminal charges.
I don't want that to show.
A white pickup truck tore into the scene at extreme speed, turning a routine stop into a catastrophic crash. Within minutes, additional officers arrived. The injured deputy told them there were still occupants trapped inside the wreck and urged them to check immediately.
Hey. Is your leg okay?
Mason suffered devastating injuries, a severe brain hemorrhage, a ruptured spleen, multiple broken ribs, and a collapsed lung. With the delayed extraction and medical response, he slipped into unconsciousness and hovered near death. But Mason's story quickly drew statewide attention. His father, Greg Treat, serves as president pro tempore of the Oklahoma State Senate. His mother, Masha Treat, made history as the first county clerk of Oklahoma County. With access to top medical specialists across Oklahoma, the family coordinated an aggressive treatment plan. After 20 days in intensive care, Mason survived against overwhelming odds. In the aftermath, his father pushed for systemic change. Within a year, lawmakers unanimously passed new legislation, approved 43 Phasero, requiring dealerships to upload vehicle sale records to a statewide database within 24 hours. The goal was clear: prevent future traffic stops involving newly purchased, unregistered vehicles from escalating into tragedy. What began as a single crash ultimately reshaped policy across the state.
Police training is important, so too is training in school.
Let's go! Central Police!
Rifle first, blue, go. Go, 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 go. Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired, move. Move, move! Watch out, watch out. Move. Stop moving! Stop moving! It's locked. Go. Hit that stair. Hit the stairs. Go, those stairs, go. Go, 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 go.
Using the sound of the gunfire to identify the location, Officer Engelbert, who was at the front of the team, engaged the attacker.
Push the LPV up. Push the LPV up. Reloading.
Officer Collazo quickly moved in as well. After several shots were fired by the officers, Hale was stopped and no longer a threat.
Move, move! Watch out, watch out. Move. Stop moving! Stop moving!
Officers then secured the firearms and confirmed the scene was safe.
Get your hands away from the gun! Get your hands away from the gun! Secondary, provide security!
Investigators later determined that Hale had fired more than 150 rounds during the incident. In total, 6 people lost their lives, and 2 others were injured by fragments. 2 officers discharged their weapons during the response. Officer Engelbert and Officer Collazo each fired 4 rounds. Police later searched Hale's vehicle and residence. Inside the vehicle, officers discovered additional firearms and large amounts of ammunition. Records showed that the weapons had been legally purchased in the previous 3 years. Investigators also recovered 16 journals and a letter addressed to Hale's parents. In the journals, Hale wrote about personal struggles, including autism, obsessive, compulsive disorder, and feelings of discrimination related to gender identity. Hale also expressed a desire to become notorious, believing that carrying out a violent act would make him widely remembered. He ultimately chose the Covenant School, a place connected to his childhood. According to the writings, he believed that attacking a place known for its kindness would bring the most attention to his actions. Confronted with the woman's imposing presence and escalating behavior, the officer attempted to defuse the situation by warning her to calm down and be mindful of her words.
You're stupid! Don't talk to me!
Despite the effort to lower tensions, her demeanor remained confrontational and defiant. She suddenly threw a punch at one of them. When she attempted to strike again, a second officer stepped in immediately. In the split second that followed, he delivered a single punch to stop the attack, knocking her unconscious and bringing the struggle to an abrupt end. The crowd nearby reacted instantly, with some people cheering while others expressed outrage. Many bystanders had only witnessed the final moments of force and were unaware of the events that led up to it. From their perspective, it appeared as though an officer had struck a woman without justification, and the full context was not immediately clear. Video recorded by a witness quickly spread, further fueling debate.
She took 2 swings, hit me in the face. I'm fine. I'm fine. She's on the ground on her own volition, no force being used.
A medical evaluation later confirmed that the woman had briefly lost consciousness but did not suffer life-threatening injuries. Investigators later revealed that the confrontation began over a seemingly minor issue. She had purchased a hamburger that was missing cheese. Concerned that the restaurant might close before correcting the order, she refused to follow a detour and attempted to push through the traffic-controlled intersection, triggering the initial police response. After reviewing the evidence, authorities concluded that the officer's actions fell within policy. The woman was ultimately sentenced to 2 years of probation for assaulting a police officer.
Get the fuck down!
You know who hit him?
I don't think I hit the suspect. I think one of my bullets hit Christy.
In Benton Township, a 23-year-old man named Pinkston entered a neighbor's yard armed with a handgun and opened fire. Four officers quickly responded to the scene. While Officer 1 and Officer 2 were searching nearby, the other 2 officers radioed in that they had located the suspect. All units immediately rushed toward the location. As Officer 2 arrived, he saw the suspect pinned beneath a fence. But without warning, the suspect suddenly fired 2 shots at him. Officer 2 returned fire.
Get the fuck down!
At the same moment, Officer 1 raised his AR-15 rifle and fired at what he believed was the suspect. However, as he moved closer, he realized a devastating mistake. The person he had just shot was actually Officer 3, who had rushed in to assist. Instead of helping Officer 2, who had been shot by the suspect, Officer 1 ran first to the officer he had accidentally struck. Meanwhile, Officer 2 remained seated on the ground. Despite being hit twice, he kept his eyes locked on the suspect, providing cover for his fellow officers. But eventually, his strength gave out and he collapsed.
I'm hit! What? In the car! I shot through the car!
The case unfolded in the state of Florida. A black man named Marks got into a heated argument with his girlfriend. Trying to cool off, he took her car and drove away. Almost immediately, his girlfriend called the police. She claimed that Marks had threatened her and stolen her vehicle.
I just want my car. I don't want to deal with anything. I know anytime we get into it, whether I'm right or wrong, he puts his hands on me or he threatens to put his hands on me. It gets very violent. There he is.
After learning officers were on the way, Marks voluntarily returned to the scene and cooperated fully. Police conducted a pat-down search and confirmed he was unarmed. They began preparing to place him into the back of a patrol car. At that moment, Marks asked to speak with a supervising officer. The request was flatly denied. He stood there looking powerless. The situation could have ended calmly right then and there. But what happened next became the most dangerous turning point of the entire encounter. As she watched her boyfriend being escorted toward the patrol car, the girlfriend appeared visibly emotional. She spoke to the supervisor about their shared history and the good moments they had together. Moments later, after seemingly calming down, she turned away, pulled out her phone, and made another report. This time, she told police that Marks was allegedly known to carry weapons. That single claim instantly escalated everything. Officers' alert levels spiked. They decided Marks needed to be searched again. As Officer Jesse approached the patrol car, an acorn suddenly dropped and struck the roof of the vehicle. In that split second, Jesse's fight, or flight response, was triggered.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! I'm hit! What? In the car! I shot through the car! Oh!
Come here. Come here, you're jaywalking now.
No.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
A bystander shouted at the officer, believing that the officer should not have fired.
Just scene control. I just need scene control.
Later, it was revealed that the man was 33-year-old Tyrell Wilson. He had been a star athlete in high school, but after the death of his girlfriend, he developed mental health problems. Although the officer attempted to provide medical aid after the shooting, Wilson's injuries were too severe. He remained in the hospital for several days before being pronounced dead. The officer later found the rocks inside Wilson's pocket. Shortly after the incident, dozens of protesters gathered outside the police department to express their anger over the shooting. Wilson's family hired an attorney, and in March 2022, reached a settlement with the county government for $4.5 million. At the time of this incident, Officer Hall was already under investigation for a separate fatal shooting that occurred in 2018. This was the second suspect he had shot and killed. In March 2022, Hall was convicted in connection with the 2018 case and was sentenced to 6 years in prison. However, this shooting case is still under investigation and has not yet been concluded. Officer Hall may once again face criminal charges. What are your thoughts on this incident? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments.